So let us look at the mindset of these scribes and Pharisees, because I discovered that they missed it in three different ways. They missed it in three different ways. Number one, they missed it because they had a problem with focus. Can the church say focus? They had a problem with focus. The problem with the Pharisees was they were focused more on preserving the custom as opposed to the presence of the Christ. I said they were more focused on preserving the custom as opposed to the presence of the Christ. These Pharisees were preoccupied with the custom. And even though Christ was in their presence, they were more concerned, Minister Phillips, about preserving of the custom than they were of the presence of the Christ. You see, when I went home and I did some research on the Pharisees' mindset, you will discover that the Pharisees were born out of conflict. Can I give you a little history real quick? They were born out of conflict, Sister Rose. The Pharisees came about as a result of the Maccabean War. And after this war, Mother, they established real worship in the temple. And what they did was, the Maccabees set in the sanctuary to maintain order. And in this set now, S-E-C-T, that was set in the sanctuary to preserve order, it was the Pharisees. And the job of the Pharisees, even before Jesus Christ, their job was to preserve order in the temple. Their job, brothers and sisters, was to make sure that regular worship was going to take place. Their job was to make sure that everybody who came to church followed the rules and the regulations. Because it was the Pharisees' job to keep order in the church. And asking the Deacon Rivers to keep order in the church. What the Pharisees did was they created something called the biblical laws. And these biblical laws were Sabbath-day rules and regulations. And these Sabbath-day rules of the Pharisees, they came up with these rules now based on the Scripture. And based on Scripture, they came up with all of these rules. They came up with those do's and the don'ts about what they could do and what they could not do when they came to church on the Sabbath. And when Jesus now, Sister Gardner, comes along, Jesus came along and started contrast between the custom of the Pharisees. Because the Pharisees didn't want anything unusual happening in the sanctuary on the Sabbath day. Are y'all with me here? Therefore, now, when the Pharisees was in charge, people came to church to get a message, but they saw no miracle. They came to church giving sacrifice, but they saw no supernatural. And after the rabbis were taught, no one was transformed. But when Jesus came on the scene, somebody said, when the Lord came on the scene, when Jesus came on the scene, messages gave birth to miracles. The sacrifice gave birth to the supernatural. The word came forth with wonders. And when he taught, people was transformed. So when Jesus came on the scene, the Pharisees had a problem with him. Because their focus was on maintaining the custom so much so that they got mad with the Christ. Because the Christ didn't comply with their custom. And I stopped by to tell somebody in this house, folk will get mad with you if you mess with their custom. Can I get a witness in here? Folk will get mad and put you out some churches if you mess with it. Are y'all with me here? Because the Christ didn't comply with the custom. Well, I come to tell you today that the same mindset back then that caused the Pharisees to miss it is the same mindset today that will cause you to miss it as well. And if you come to church not expecting nothing but a message, nothing but a word, if you come to church not expecting that miracles and wonders can take place, you're gonna be guilty of missing it just like the Pharisees. If you're not going to, are y'all with me here? If you're not going to miss it when you come to church, your focus must not solely be on preserving the custom, but your focus must be on the presence of the Christ. Because the presence of the Christ ought to penetrate the practice of the church. I say the presence of the Christ ought to penetrate the practices of the church. And I don't know about you, but I'm expecting God to do something. I don't know about you, before I leave my driveway and come down to 2176 Clay Road, I'm expecting God to do something. You may not be expecting him to do nothing for you, but I'm expecting the Lord to do something. Somebody should have woke up this morning with the mindset of expecting God to show up. And if the Lord show up, even when the preacher gives a word, somebody will get a wonder. Can I get a witness here? Even when the worship minister is going to start singing, I'm expecting the Lord to show up and do something. I don't come here to see what you had on, to see who you are setting beside who. I woke up this morning with the mindset, I want the Lord to show up in my life. Tell your neighbor, you got to have the right focus. Come on, tell them, you got to have the right focus. Why don't you just nudge on your neighbor? Tell your neighbor, you got to have the right focus. You got to have the right focus. Well, these Pharisees, their focus was wrong, because their focus was on preserving the custom. Now hear me now. I'm not saying that all customs are wrong. Let me back up a minute. I'm not telling you now that all customs are wrong, because I believe in the singing of the hymn. I believe in a charge to keep our heart. For God to glorify. I believe in what a friend we have in Jesus. All my sins and griefs today. I believe in, are y'all with me here? I believe that on today we shouldn't come. When I must stand before my church and pass the solemn question. I believe in the hymns I tell you. Come ye that love the Lord, and let your joys be known. Join in a song of to the poor, and dust around the throne. I don't know about you, but I believe in the hymn. I believe that when you come to church, you ought to feel like you've been in church. I don't believe that the church should imitate the word, but I believe that the church ought to set a standard for the word. I believe that we ought not talk like the word, dress like the word. We ought not live like the word. Call me old-fashioned if you want, but that's all right. I believe that certain things you ought not to do around the church. Certain things you ought not to say are in the church. Because why? I believe, I said, in the custom. However now, I also believe that the presence of Christ should transcend the pattern of the culture. Simply put, I believe, brothers and sisters, that if all you have is what you want to the club, don't you stay home because you don't have a dress to wear. I believe that if that's all that you have, you put it on and just come as you are. Can I give a witness here? Because the bottom line is, God is looking at God is